When Ikemba visited the shrine, he was amazed to see a young beautiful lady clothed as a priestess. He took off his sandals, which was necessary for every visitor of the shrine. He washed his hands in a pot filled with water, which means any information he will give before the gods will be accurate. The young priestess asked him about the reason for his visit. He narrated everything to her and told her about his willingness to take the sacred pot with him back to the city. The priestess could be heard making some chants, singing strange songs and pouring cowries on a mat. Ikemba was anxious to know what the outcome will be. Suddenly, the priestess asked him to come back in 3 days since there was a ritual to be done before the release of the pot to him, and this ritual will need him to bath in a river known as the home of the village goddess. If he survives in the rain, he will successfully inherit the pot which contained treasures. Ikemba, who was named by his uncle, a courageous warrior, accepted the challenge. On the third day, while going to the river with Ijeamaka and some other men, he noticed Ijeamaka the priestess bleeding on her left foot. He ran to the bush and immediately got some leaves which he used on her foot. Everyone was surprised and Ijeamaka was furious because no man is allowed to touch her and there was a punishment for that. He has to run around the village 7 times. They went back to the palace without visiting the river for final ritual. When the chief heard what Ikemba did, he asked him to be punished. Ikemba ran around the village 7 times on a barefoot. He looked weak, tired and thirsty, and no one was willing to give him water. He ran to the river, took permission from the goddess and drank water from the river. That night, Ijeamaka had a sleepless night. She had several dreams about Ikemba and the goddess telling her, he has been chosen to lead Okiriki. The next morning, Ijeamaka kept thinking about her dream and how Ikemba took care of her wound. Ikemba visited the shrine to know of his next visit to the river to finalize his possession of his uncle's pot. Ijeamaka asked him to come the next day. The next day, Ikemba, Ijeamaka the priestess left to the river.